Hey Bears fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Chicago Bears. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The rumor that's been shaking the NFL world this week revolves around the Chicago Bears and a shocking move by their head coach, Ben Johnson, whose recent decisions have left fans, analysts, and insiders questioning the stability and direction of the franchise. Sources close to the organization have revealed that Johnson made the unprecedented choice to expel KYLER Gordon, a cornerback who had been a promising talent for the Bears since being drafted. While the official statement from a Bears front office have been vague, the buzz in sports circles is loud and insistent. This move was not taken lightly and is rumored to be the result of a combination of on-field performance issues, locker room dynamics, and possibly off-field controversies. The suddenness of the expulsion has created a whirlwind in Chicago, with fans reacting on social media with shock, disbelief, and speculation. Analysts are dissecting every possible reason, from disagreements over defensive schemes to clashes of personality between Johnson and Gordon, trying to understand what could lead a coach to make such a drastic decision against a young player who still has the potential to become a cornerstone of the team. Insiders suggest that the tension between Johnson and Gordon had been simmering for months, growing quietly under the surface while both tried to maintain professional appearances. Team practices reportedly became increasingly tense, with disagreements over strategy and execution escalating into heated confrontations that some teammates described as uncomfortable to watch. Reports indicate that Johnson's coaching style, which emphasizes strict discipline and adherence to his system, may have clashed with Gordon's playing style and attitude, creating friction that ultimately became untenable. Moreover, sources hint that there were discussions within the Bears' front office about whether Gordon's presence in the locker room could impact team morale, with opinions sharply divided. Some insiders argue that Gordon's departure could send a message to the rest of the team, emphasizing accountability and adherence to Johnson's system, while others worry it might create a rift among players who saw him as a valued teammate. The rumor mill continues to churn, with former players and analysts weighing in on sports talk shows, social media threads, and podcasts, trying to piece together the story behind what is being called one of the most dramatic moves in recent Bears history, leaving everyone wondering what happens next. The timing of the expulsion is also fueling speculation, as it comes just weeks before crucial games that could determine the Bears' playoff chances. Observers point out that removing a starting cornerback like Gordon could have immediate implications for the team's defensive performance, potentially leaving holes that opponents may exploit. Rumors suggest that Johnson believes the risk is worth taking if it ultimately strengthens the team culture and establishes his authority as head coach. But critics argue that the decision could backfire spectacularly if the team struggles in upcoming matches. Discussions online are rife with theories, from claims that internal politics within the Bears organization influenced the decision, to more sensational whispers that off-field behavior may have played a role. Sports journalists are piecing together fragments of interviews, practice observations, and insider tips, trying to confirm or debunk the swirling speculations. Fans are left with mixed feelings, some applauding Johnson's decisiveness and others lamenting the loss of a player many had high hopes for. In essence, the rumor of KYLER Gordon's expulsion is more than just a personnel change. It has ignited a firestorm of debate, analysis, and anticipation for the next chapter in the Bears' tumultuous season. Speculation also extends to Gordon's future in the league, with numerous teams reportedly keeping a close eye on his situation, waiting to see if he becomes available for trade or free agency. Analysts suggest that a player of his caliber, if he maintains focus and motivation, could quickly find a new home where his skills are appreciated, potentially turning this dramatic episode into a career pivot rather than a setback. Meanwhile, the Bears organization is expected to face scrutiny from fans, media, and league officials, with many wondering how this sudden personnel shift will affect team cohesion and performance. Rumors indicate that Johnson's strategy may involve not only removing Gordon, but also reshaping the team culture to align more closely with his vision, though exactly what that entails remains opaque. Conversations in locker rooms across the league suggest that players are closely monitoring how the Bears handle the situation, with many using it as a case study in leadership, discipline, and the sometimes harsh realities of professional football. As the story unfolds, the buzz surrounding Johnson's decision continues to dominate sports talk, feeding speculation and debate across podcasts, blogs, and YouTube channels alike, creating a narrative that feels part drama, part sports strategy, and all rumor-driven intrigue. Reports indicate that the expulsion did not come as a complete surprise to insiders who had been observing the evolving relationship between Johnson and Gordon for some time. Teammates describe subtle signs of tension, from terse exchanges during practice to private disagreements over defensive assignments, hinting that the situation had been escalating behind closed doors. According to these sources, Johnson's approach to leadership involves a zero-tolerance policy for behaviors he perceives as disruptive, which has earned him both admiration and criticism within professional circles. Gordon, for his part, is rumored to have tried to adjust and meet Johnson's expectations, but sources claim that fundamental differences in approach and attitude made reconciliation difficult. The story, as it develops, has prompted heated discussion on social media platforms, where fans dissect every word from press conferences, leaked reports, and insider commentary, attempting to separate fact from speculation. Meanwhile, rival teams and analysts continue to study the ripple effects, theorizing how the Bears will adapt their defensive strategy without Gordon and whether Johnson's decisive action will pay off or create more problems than it solves. The ripple effect of Gordon's expulsion extends beyond the Bears' locker room, reaching analysts, commentators, and fans across the NFL who are eager to predict how this decision will affect team standings, morale, and Johnson's reputation as a head coach. The speculation ranges from tactical analyses, considering how defensive schemes may need to be revised, to psychological evaluations of team dynamics and leadership. Sports talk shows and online forums have exploded with opinions, with some praising Johnson for taking a firm stand and others questioning whether the move signals instability within the organization. The timing, the suddenness, and the apparent severity of the decision have created a rumor machine that refuses to quiet down, with insiders leaking pieces of information, hints of private conversations, and reactions from players who are said to be shocked but not entirely surprised. As these rumors circulate, the Bears fan base is caught in a whirlwind of speculation, emotion, and anticipation, waiting to see whether the expulsion of KYLER Gordon will mark a turning point for the team or become a cautionary tale of leadership, ego, and professional football's high-stakes environment. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that Johnson's coaching philosophy may be under more scrutiny than ever, with critics and supporters alike dissecting his decision-making, leadership style, and long-term vision for the Bears. Rumors claim that some members of the organization question the timing of Gordon's expulsion, worrying about the potential fallout in the locker room and on the field, yet Johnson reportedly pressed forward, convinced that establishing authority and setting standards outweighs immediate risk. Conversations among NFL insiders speculate that this move could serve as a defining moment for Johnson's tenure, demonstrating that he prioritizes discipline and culture over short-term convenience or sentimentality. Gordon's situation also fuels broader discussions about the challenges young players face in professional football, balancing personal development, team expectations, and the sometimes harsh realities imposed by coaching staff. The saga is now dominating social media, podcasts, and sports news outlets, as fans, experts, and former players weigh in on every possible implication, feeding a rumor ecosystem that grows with every passing day, adding layers of intrigue, debate, and anticipation to what is already being called one of the most dramatic off-season stories in recent Bears history. Speculation continues to intensify as reports suggest that the Bears are considering multiple internal and external options to address the void left by Gordon's departure. Analysts are rumored to be discussing potential replacements, adjustments in defensive alignments, and even shifts in player responsibilities to accommodate the sudden change. Fans and insiders alike are analyzing tape, past performances, and practice footage, attempting to project how the team will cope with the loss of a promising cornerback at a critical juncture of the season. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that Johnson is doubling down on his philosophy of accountability, sending a message to the team that no player, regardless of talent or tenure, is immune from consequences if they fail to align with the coach's expectations. This narrative, fueled largely by rumors and insider chatter, has captured the imagination of the sports world, turning a single personnel decision into a multi-layered story of leadership, strategy, and the unpredictable dynamics of professional football. As the Bears navigate the aftermath, every practice, press conference, and game becomes a potential flashpoint, further fueling speculation about the long-term impact of Johnson's decision and Kyler Gordon's future in the league. As the rumor mill spins, whispers suggest that Kyler Gordon's expulsion from the Chicago Bears could spark a chain reaction across the NFL, with teams evaluating the potential to acquire a cornerback who, despite recent controversies, still possesses exceptional athleticism and technical skill. Scouts are reportedly revisiting Gordon's game tape, assessing not only his physical abilities, but also his mental resilience, adaptability, and capacity to thrive under pressure, speculating that a fresh environment and coaching philosophy could reignite his career. Meanwhile, analysts suggest that Johnson's decision might inadvertently enhance Gordon's market value, painting him as a player who is passionate, competitive, and unafraid to challenge authority when needed. Social media chatter has intensified, with fans debating whether Gordon's expulsion reflects poorly on his professionalism or highlights the harsh realities of competing in one of the league's most demanding teams. Rumors also circulate about possible destinations, with teams rumored to have expressed preliminary interest, contemplating how his skills could complement their defensive schemes and fill critical gaps. The speculation extends beyond the gridiron, touching on personal dynamics, locker room culture, and a delicate balance between talent and temperament, with commentators framing the narrative as a test of both the Bears' leadership and Gordon's ability to bounce back, keeping the story alive and fueling endless debate. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Meanwhile, the chatter among sports commentators suggests that Johnson's move may influence how other coaches approach player discipline, with whispers indicating that the Bears' decision could set a precedent for enforcing team culture and accountability in ways that some consider bold, while others see as controversial or risky. Rumors hint at extensive internal meetings, strategy sessions, and consultations with player development staff aimed at mitigating the potential fallout and maintaining team morale. Analysts speculate that the team's performance in upcoming games will serve as a barometer for whether Johnson's decision was strategically sound or a miscalculated risk, with every play, interception, and defensive alignment scrutinized under the lens of this high-profile personnel change. Social media platforms and online forums are abuzz with fan theories, speculative trades, and commentary, feeding the narrative with interpretations that range from supportive to highly critical, all reflecting the intense scrutiny and attention that a sudden move like Gordon's expulsion naturally generates. The rumor-driven coverage continues to dominate sports media, cementing this story as one of the most discussed and polarizing in recent NFL history. In addition to speculation about Gordon's future, insiders suggest that the Bears may be exploring internal talent as a short-term solution, shifting responsibilities among cornerbacks and defensive backs while scouting potential external acquisitions. Rumors indicate that coaches are evaluating versatility, coverage ability, and situational awareness, looking for ways to patch the gap left by Gordon without destabilizing the defensive unit. Analysts speculate that the decision to expel a young, talented player midseason may test the team's depth, resilience, and adaptability, while also sending a clear message about expectations, discipline, and leadership under Johnson's tenure. Social media discourse amplifies these speculations, with fans dissecting game footage, player interactions, and press statements to predict how the Bears will adjust their defensive schemes and maintain competitiveness. Industry insiders suggest that Gordon's situation is emblematic of the fine line coaches walk between managing talent and enforcing standards, a tension that adds drama, debate, and intrigue to the unfolding story, keeping the NFL community captivated and hungry for updates on every twist, rumor, and strategic implication related to the Bears' latest personnel shakeup. Whispers from league insiders suggest that Kyler Gordon's expulsion has triggered conversations among other teams' front offices about the risks and rewards of acquiring a player with a mix of high skill and controversial circumstances. Analysts speculate that teams are weighing his on-field performance against potential locker room challenges, evaluating whether the move could pay off as a calculated gamble. Rumors also point to the possibility that Gordon's next destination could depend heavily on coaching philosophy, team culture, and the ability of staff to manage and motivate high-potential players, suggesting that his future may hinge as much on personality fit as athletic ability. Social media platforms are rife with speculation, fan theories, and debates over whether Johnson's decision signals a larger trend towards strict discipline in the NFL or is a unique, high-stakes gamble by the Bears. Commentary across podcasts, YouTube channels, and sports talk shows emphasizes the dramatic nature of the move, portraying it as a defining moment for both Gordon and Johnson, while keeping the rumor-driven narrative alive, compelling, and endlessly dissected by analysts, fans, and insiders alike. Rumors indicate that within the Bears organization, discussions about the long-term implications of Gordon's departure continue to simmer, with some advocating for careful management of team morale and others emphasizing the importance of maintaining a disciplined culture. Analysts speculate that Johnson's decision may ultimately be framed as a defining moment of leadership, signaling to players that adherence to strategy, professionalism, and accountability is paramount, even if it risks short-term disruption. Social media speculation intensifies as fans debate the wisdom, fairness, and timing of the expulsion, often polarizing opinions and sparking heated discussions about the balance between talent management and organizational standards. Meanwhile, league insiders hint that other coaches are observing the situation closely, considering how similar disciplinary decisions could impact their own teams, players, and reputations. The rumor ecosystem continues to expand, with every leak, hint, and strategic maneuver feeding ongoing narratives that combine tactical analysis, personality dynamics, and speculative drama, keeping the Bear saga at the forefront of NFL discourse and ensuring that the story remains a hot topic of conversation across every platform imaginable. The media narrative suggests that Gordon's expulsion could influence how young players perceive professional football, with rumors highlighting debates about the balance between individual freedom, talent expression, and adherence to team philosophy. Analysts speculate that the situation might serve as a cautionary tale or a motivator, depending on perspective, framing Gordon's potential next steps as a critical test of resilience and adaptability. Sources hint that scouts, coaches, and team executives are closely observing his reactions, interviews, and training sessions to gauge temperament, professionalism, and commitment to improvement, weighing these factors as heavily as physical performance. Social media discussions amplify these speculations, with fans theorizing about trade possibilities, player reactions, and coaching strategies, feeding a self-perpetuating cycle of rumor and analysis. Every snippet of insider commentary, practice observation, and strategic hint contributes to the narrative, making Gordon's expulsion not just a personnel story, but a multifaceted drama involving leadership, career trajectory, team culture, and the unpredictable dynamics that define professional football at the highest level. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.